Okay, now we want to position these coins that we've spawned in. So we'll go to transform and grab set X position of myself. But we don't want to be positioning myself. We want to be positioning this new instance that we've made. If we right click on instance, we can click create get instance, and it gets us the instance that we've just created. We could also go to global and local and see local instance there. So we want to position the new instance that we've created. Do we want it to go to 0? No, we want it to go to the position of the loot chest, and maybe offset it a little bit. So if we go to transform, we can get the center X position of the loot chest. That'll work. And then we'll do the same thing for the Y position. Y position of instance to center Y position of myself. Let's play that now and see how that looks. They come out pretty nicely, but I would like for them to not collide with anything and then to come out and then freeze after maybe half a second. So what I'll do is go and edit my loot coin script. And when the coins are created, I will go to physics and set all side collisions to false. So that's when created. And then I want to keep track of whether or not they can be collected. So I'll make a new variable for that. I'll click create variable, and we'll call this able to be collected, and that'll be true false, and when it's created we'll set it to false. So it's not yet able to be collected, so they should shower out of the chest. Now we'll make it so that after 500 milliseconds they can be collected and they will freeze in place. So let's go to control flow and grab after 100 milliseconds have passed. Let's make that after 500 milliseconds have passed. We will set able to collected to true, able to be collected true, and we will also disable their physics, so their velocities will stop. So we'll go to physics and grab set physics enabled false. So half a second they'll all jump out and then they'll freeze in place. Let's test that out and then we'll make them collectible. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I might give them just a little bit more time. Let's try 1000 milliseconds. See what that looks like. Okay, that's quite cool. I like that. Okay, now to make them collectible, what we need to do is have them constantly check if they're overlapping the player. So first we will find the player and save the player as a variable. Now the tricky thing with doing this when the coin is created is the first coin may exist before the player exists. So we just need to double check that the player does exist so that it doesn't give us an error. So we'll go to control flow, grab an if block, and we'll say if player exists. So we'll go to sensing and grab from the tagging section if first instance by tag player, and then we'll go to sensing again, and up the top we've got myself exists. We'll ask if first instance by tag player exists, and if they do exist we will save the player as a variable. So we'll go to variables, create variable, call this player, it'll be an instance, and we'll set the player to the first instance by tag player.